Libraries will always, as both Chairman Olson said and the Mayor said, will always be primary issues heavily impacted during economic downturns. And your best interests are represented not only through the board, but as you heard the Mayor say, I will represent you as well. So what does that mean for us in the financial aspect and keeping pace? You heard the Mayor talk about a zero growth bottom line. The difference from 2009 to 2010 is that last year we had zero growth, and actually we supplemented operational costs from the board funds. And what that means is that the board funds have traditionally gone towards enhancements and enhancements and capital. So we had to supplement some operational costs from the board funds for one time. We don't have the resources to do that in 2010. So the zero growth budget is going to have to look at what has been called fixed costs. Let me assure you, I don't see anyone in this room not having a job next year. That is not the issue. But we will have to look at perhaps freezing a position, and where that position may be depends upon the operational needs. So that, to me, is the worst case scenario to consider for next year. We also will have to look at the operations again for the second year. What we're looking at is one of the virtual online reference databases, and that may be one of the places that we have to look at for operations. We've also looked at delaying some furniture replacement. The good news there is we're actually in a year where we have less furniture to replace, so that's really not going to be, wouldn't be as much of an impact. The Finance Committee of the Board is going to get a draft of the budget to look at. This has evolved. You have had the question asked yourself as staff, where can we find some efficiencies? What are some things we need to take into account? I will tell you again, we are in the best position ever to weather these times. We also have to think about when things go down, they do come back up. So the level of service that we maintain during this time is going to make a difference about how we come back up with it. And you heard that from the Mayor. You know, you have to make the case for what it is that you need. So sustaining, maintaining, and continue to push forward with offering those quality services, knowing that we're already going into another record-breaking year, but at the same time, looking at 2010 with some finite resources. That's not an ideal equation, but you got to remember, it will come back up. And it's early in the process. The budget doesn't get officially adopted until October 1st by the Council. There's a number of reviews that it goes through. You are encouraged, as we've said before, to continue to talk to us about where you see efficiencies or things that could be considered in that process. So libraries during these times will be a lifeline connection for many people. And one of those ways that I want to describe that to you is, this is a chart of predictions of use by age groups for online social networking. There is some substantial overall 44% more use of social networking services by different age groups forthcoming to 2013. That again, we know what that landscape looks like. We have to continue to build that potential. And in these times, this is a chart when it comes to what recent hires recommend to job seekers. The number one source that they recommend is online social networking when it comes to seeking employment. So making connections with sustaining what we have, moving forward in the future with the finite resources. There's a 3-minute YouTube I'd like to show you called Who's Watching Your Space? And it's about the aspect of finding of information in using those tools. The speakers, we've cranked them up as loud as they can go. I think they'll be okay, but you can give great critique afterwards. And it takes a minute for this video to come up.
let's talk a little bit about the culture of participation.
There is still an economic divide about who can have access and who cannot.
So information used to be a place apart. It is now a part of every place.
A powerful global conversation has begun.
A new kind of critical reading skill is necessary in the era of the search engine.
The value or the potential value to meet new people, to interact with people, so overwhelmingly awesome that you're willing to give up a level of privacy.
So the annotation of everything is upon us.
I use Facebook with my students.
MySpace gets Google scale traffic, and YouTube, last I looked, was serving over 100 million videos a day.
MySpace has become the primary teen hangout place in the United States.
Things like MySpace are, they're part of the firmament. You're talking about, Los Angeles, it's always been there, right? MySpace, when I ask them things like, well, what about Friendster? They go, what? So that was so 2.5 years ago.
Really? If you don't have a MySpace amongst teen culture, you don't exist? You don't exist? You don't exist?
We used to learn how to keep current. Now we need to learn how to experience these technologies and put them into practice.
I think we have a tremendous opportunity today, and it's not going to last for a long time, to make use of the natural enthusiasm of today's young digital natives.
The notion of public that's going on these sites is fundamentally different than the ideas of public life that we have as part of everyday society.
This is a process in which these footprints we leave behind don't melt and go away. And they're aggregatable and analyzable in profound ways.
Think about how libraries can do the same thing and how important it is for libraries to do so.
Intervention. By education. Two librarians in that. It's going to be central to 21st century civic education.
So the question that we have as educators is how do we go back and teach teenagers what it means to be a part of a society rather than just telling them they have to behave this way or that way?
The challenge for librarians, I would say, is how to move to higher ground when the deliciouses and the digs and the Slashdots of the world are in your space and are going to organize the world's information themselves, but you're the pros. What advantage can you offer them? What guidance can you offer them? So the need for information guides is only going to grow.
So if you didn't know you were a pro, you are. Author Seth Goodwin, he frames some remarks on wisdom that I really think can help focus for the year and are relevant to us. See, really see what's possible. Know specifically what you want to achieve. Make good decisions. Understand the tactics to get things done and to change minds, and earn the trust and respect of the people around you. What he says is that we often spend most of our time on number 4, the tactics and changing people's minds. And it will be important for 2009 that we stay focused on all 5. We have the potential as a library to provide the community service to succeed and contribute in these times. Thank you, and I'll ask Terry Davis to come up with her remarks.